G'day, my name's Nathan Lindsell. What's yours? And welcome to episode number 16 of The Fine Art of Distraction. Thanks for joining me. So, with today's episode, I was thinking I'm going to go for a little bit of a different colour theme to what I'm normally used to doing. Normally, I'm doing lots of blues and all that sort of stuff. And I thought, what's the opposite of like blue, like the ocean and all that sort of stuff? The earth. So I'm going to choose sort of earthy sort of tone sort of colours. And my envision of what I'm hoping happens is I'm wanting to sort of have that look of like where I've found like a big boulder and I've like just sort of split it straight down the middle and I've opened it up. And I want to see like the inside of the boulder. So that's what I'm hoping for today. And the best way I figured how I could sort of get that sort of look was to do a bloom where I basically layer different colours of paints and pigments on top of each other, then put a cell activator on top of that and then blow out that cell activator. And as I'm blowing out, those colours are sort of mixing in with each other. So I'm really hoping that I get that sort of earthy sort of like stone look. So fingers crossed that that happens. But before we jump over to sort of mixing up all the colours and all that sort of jazz, I've got to show you the dry result from last week. And I tell you what, all four of them look sick. Alrighty. So here's the first one. Now, if I was to hang this on the wall, this is the exact way that I'd hang it, with the dark blue bit down the bottom, just because I actually had it against the wall and I looked at it from a distance and I'm like, yeah, my eye wants to see the dark blue down the bottom. And then I turned it over the other way and I'm like, nah, it just doesn't work as good. So to me, I think definitely the dark blue bit down the bottom. That's how I'd hang that one. So that's the first one. This one is awesome as well. I love that. That turned out wicked. And again, I would actually have the dark blue bit down the bottom as well. Just because when you look at it from a distance, it definitely does look better having the dark blue down the bottom. So I don't know if you guys think the same, but that's what my eye likes to see. The dark blue down the bottom. Alright, so that's that one. Then there's this one, this bad boy here. I love this one. The only thing that I wish I saw when I was doing the actual tilting off, this little bit just here. There's a couple of little black splashes, and I wish I saw it because I could have fixed it when it was still wet, but I didn't see it until it was dry. So, but I mean, to have 4 canvases and the only small issue is just that, hey, that's a win in my book. Like, that's nothing. If you get 4 awesome canvases and just that tiny little bit is an issue, that's not an issue, really, because that turned out sick anyway. So, and then the last one, this is my favorite. How awesome is that? Yeah! Now, I'm confused with this one. I don't know which way I'd hang it. I don't know if I'd have the black up the top or the black down the bottom. I'm in two minds for this one. It confuses me. So actually, you guys could help me in the comments if you just put top or bottom. And yeah, we'll have like a bit of a pool sort of thing. So yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think. If you think the black should be down the bottom or the black should be up the top. Yeah, and I'd actually hang all 4. So they're like that going across like that. Rather than boom, boom, I'd go boom, boom, boom. So 4 across. But yeah, so even though this is my favourite one, I like it both ways. I like it that way and I like it that way, but I just don't know which way. I think maybe that way, but I'd love for you guys to help me figure it out. Alrighty, so now that I've told you what I'm going to be doing, we'll head over to the table. I'll show you what products that we're going to be using, and yeah, then we'll get into it. Thanks, guys. Alrighty then. So here's the products that we're going to be using today, and look, there's my hairdryer. I mean, I don't really use it on my head because I ain't got no hair, but I do use it on my beard. So that's enough of the personal grooming that you're going to know about me. Alrighty, so the colours that we're going to be using today are a combination of pigments and also tube paints. The pigments that I'm going to be using are from this little Piggy, otherwise known as TLP. The colours that I've chosen are Ore, which is a really, really nice light gold, Caramel Drizzle, Mango, Cappuccino, and Grenache. The tube paints that I'm going to be using today are from Amsterdam, and the colours I've chosen are Bronze and also Copper. The cell activator that I'm going to be using is from Amsterdam, and that is Oxide Black. Okay. The pillow paint that I'm going to be using today is also black, and that's from British Paints Exterior, and it's Low Sheen in black. Okay. The pigments and also tube paints have been mixed using a pouring medium, which is the Shelee Art pouring medium, which is the Shelee Art recipe, I should say, which is Taubmans Easy Coat and also Sonja Gloss Varnish. Now, being the Shelee Art recipe, I actually can't tell you the ratio that I use to actually mix up. All I can say is the paints and the pigments are a different ratio, okay? The cell activator that I'm using is Floetrol, Aussie Floetrol, 4 to 1 part Oxide Black. So that's 4 to 1, 4 parts Aussie Floetrol and 1 part Amsterdam Oxide Black. So if you were to do it as a mils sort of ratio, you'd go 10 mils of Oxide Black and 40 mils of Aussie Floetrol. So that's 4 to 1. Okay. With the hairdryer, you might notice that it does have a cold chute on it, and I've cable tied it down. The reason why I've cable tied it down is because when you're actually blowing out the bloom, you don't actually want it to be a hot air that's going across it, because it'll act the same as your blowtorch. If you concentrate on a spot too much, it's actually going to basically melt your paints and pigments, and then it'll go all like clumpy, and you'll end up with goobers all through it. So if you don't have a hairdryer that has a cold setting on it, and it does have a push cold setting, just cable tie it down, and then it stays on the cold chute all the time. You're best off trying to find a hairdryer that actually has a cold setting, because it still does have a little bit of warmth coming out, but it basically cuts off the heat. So there is still a little bit of warmth, but it's nowhere near what it would be if you were using just the hot. Okay. So now that I've showed you what products we're going to be using today, we'll clear all this off, and then I'll start pouring onto the canvas, and then use my hairdryer and blow out the bloom. All right. Thanks, guys. I love it. Oh my god. No way. This. Oh, I think this is my favourite one I've ever done. I know I've been saying that a lot lately, but this really is sick. Holy moly. Now, when I was stretching it out, I actually really liked what was happening on this corner here, and I didn't want to actually take that all the way off. So what I did on the opposite corner was I left that as well. So it sort of paired it up. So the opposite corners sort of had that sort of black edge. Because I really love that. That's sick. And I love all the cells and lacing just there. Oh my god! I am so stoked with this! Yee-hoo! Wow! OMG. What the hell? I can't believe how awesome this looks. And look at these hands! Yet again, filthy as. Alright, I've already wiped the bottom once, but I just want to wipe it again because I don't want any of this to pull away. I am so happy with this. Yahoo! My God! For those that live in Australia, this is going straight to the pool room. Wow. And for those in America and everywhere else around the world, going straight to the pool room is from a very famous movie called The Castle, an Australian movie called The Castle. And anything that was worthy of going into the pool room was said. That's going straight to the pool room. So, this is going straight to the pool room. Yes! Oh my god, I'm so stoked with this. I'm going to bring it down for a close-up. Oh, this is so cool. How awesome are those edges? How sick is that? I absolutely love this. Now, there was actually method in my madness for actually choosing the colours that I chose. Because my dad's boss is actually wanting another piece for the office. And I was actually hoping for like an earthy sort of one for my next one. And Gavin, if you're watching this, I hope you like these colours, because these are the colours that I'm thinking to do your next one. So, yeah, give us a thumbs up, Gavin, if you're keen on these colours, because I'll tell you what, I am so stoked with how these colours turned out. Oh, I love this corner. This corner is my favourite. I love that. Let's put you back up in the cradle. I'm sorry that I'm shaking. Wow, guys, I am so happy with how this turned out. Yahoo! Wow! Alright, guys. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for joining me on this episode. This episode was a bit stressful, but the outcome of this has actually just made me in such a great mood. So I am stoked with how this turned out. So thank you all for joining me on this episode. If you liked what you saw with this episode, please give us a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate the thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed and you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button, hit the little dark bell, and that'll indicate when I've uploaded a new video. And if any of your friends might like to see this, and if you think they want to see it, please pass it on to them. I'd love for them to have a look, and I'd love to get their input on it as well. Alright, guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me on this episode. This is the fine art of distraction.